Welcome to another episode of your weekly program, Crime Watch. This program is aimed at creating an interactive platform between the police and members of the public in combating crime. Remember, crime does not pay. I'm your host, Cynthia Shikaramba. Thank you for joining us. The Zimbabwe Republic Police would like to extend its heartfelt condolences to the families of 4 members of the security services, comprising 3 police officers and a member of the Zimbabwe National Army, who lost their lives in a road accident while on their way to COVID-19 deployments along Shamva-Harare Road. May their souls rest in eternal peace. The police continues to urge members of the public to abide by national lockdown measures put in place by the government to control the spread of COVID-19. The police will not hesitate to arrest anyone found on the wrong side of the law. Over 75,000 people have so far been arrested for contravening COVID-19 response measures. As of 21 June 2020, the police had arrested 28 people who escaped from quarantine centers across the country. Members of the public are urged to report to their nearest police stations suspected escapees or those who are entering the country through undesignated entry points trying to evade COVID-19 screening process. The police are concerned with people who are using this lockdown period to engage in unscrupulous business practices such as selling fake products to unsuspecting customers. Police on patrol in St. Mary's recently busted syndicates who were involved in illegal dealings of fuel and selling of counterfeit roller mill.
I was deployed with the Polygon members at the shopping center to patrol. During our tour of duty, we entered a granting mill at Muriati and found millers packing meal in silo brand packages. I then called the manager for Chitongweza GMB, who came to the scene and confirmed that it was silo packaging but packed with counterfeit meal. We managed to recover 29 packed silo counterfeit products.
Also in another patrol, 5 accused persons were arrested who were conniving with the safe station employees to get fuel and sell it at the black market in US dollars.
We encourage members of the public to purchase goods from reputable dealers to avoid being duped. Meanwhile, Avondale police reacted swiftly to an unlawful entry and theft case that took place at a hardware store at Belgravia Shopping Center in Harare. Some of the suspects were arrested within 24 hours after the case had been reported.
We received a report of unlawful entry and theft from one Petronella Warikandwa. As investigation team, we proceeded to Belgravia Shops, Mika Hardware, where we managed to interview the caretaker. The caretaker led us to arrest Pasmo Zao, who also implicated the second accused person, Brian Goreraza, and we managed to recover property, namely heaters, submersible pump, safety shoes, work suits, amongst the others.
We encourage members of the public to work hand in glove with the police in the fight against crime in our community. We also urge the members of the public to join the neighborhood watch committees, the crime consultative committee in the fight against crime.
We spoke to the complainant who narrated what transpired.
Ndichipinda mushopu ndakaona kuti zvinhu masirana ndakazviita nezvandakasvika zviri zvakanga zvanisiyana. Saka ndakafamba ndichibva kushopu kwadwe ndichiuya kuno kumashure. Ndopa ndakaona panapa pakadai so iye zvependi yakabva. Ndopa ndakaona kuti munhu anogona vakapinda vakatora zvinhu vachibudisa nepapa. Saka panguva yandakaona izvozvo ndakabva ndaenda kuno mangara paAvondale police station vachibva vauya vachibva vatanga kubatsira nyaya iyoyo. Saka ndinoda kutenda zvikuru kumapurisa vawanika kuwana zvinhu zvangu nenguva pfupi ndichidazve kukurudzira veruzhinji kuti kana muchinge mabirwa kana pachinge paitika mhosva mangarai kumapurisa nekukasika munokasikawo kubatsirwa.
Crime Watch takes a short break. Join us in the second segment for more. Welcome to the second segment of Crime Watch. Police operations against illegal mining activities and violence by machete gangs in the country have been successful, as witnessed by the number of arrests. Since the inception of the operation codenamed Chikorokoza Ngachipere, Iziteke Chakasfele, and No to Machete Gangs, cumulative arrests have moved up to 10,153 as at 23 June 2020. Crime Watch recently visited Inyati Police Station in Matabeleland North Province and spoke to the officer in charge, who unraveled his station's strategy in dealing with illegal mining activities.
Indawo yethu eNyathi le indawo emining. Kutholakala igolide kakhulu. Igolide leli lihuga abantu abasuka endaweni ezitshiyeneyo ilizwe lonke. So bathi bengenza njalo kulezinye izikhathi ukuthi kuyoma igolide lingaphumi. Ngaleso sikhathi kwabaqala ukudala khona amanye amacala anjengamo theft, ukutshontsha, amacala anxa edalwa ikakhulu ama-assaults. Basebenzisa izikhali ezinjenge imkhonto le enje so. Lo hlupho esibhekane lalo endaweni zokupholisa indawo yethu. Semphume lama strategies athize ukuthi sizame ukunqabela amacala lawo adalwayo lapha. Ku legal mining le sesithe endaweni zonezo lapha abagebha khona ongekho emthethweni bese bevule amagodi amade silothwa ngama-shafts. So sesidinge ama-well wishers from i-community ukuthi bayovala imigodi leyo bayigqibela osithi ngesikhiwa i-rehabilitation.
Illegal mining activities are a threat to the environment and the country's economy. Academia and farmer Professor Sheuneso Mpepereki gives us an insight on the effects of illegal mining activities.
The storage of water is being severely depleted by the illegal gold panning activities. This is a very, very serious matter. We know now that there is very limited food supplies, which government is hoping to supplement through increased irrigation. But the irrigation capacity is being seriously affected by the silting up of the various dams that are along one of the major rivers. If our rivers die, and they are dying already, they are not just sick, but they are dying. Currently they are dying. We will find that this country will literally turn into a desert with climate change, which means we are now having very little natural rainfall. The little rainfall that comes, we want to store in the dams. But if the dams and the rivers are now silting up because of soil and sand coming from various illegal mining activities, it simply means down the line, very quickly, in our lifetime, the rivers will be dead. And with the death of the rivers will come a desert. Food security is at risk because of the destruction that we are witnessing under the auspices of gold panning. The gold is in this country should not become a curse. It should be a blessing. We should exploit it sustainably, and the law should take its course. Government and its people must find the best ways of exploiting the gold sustainably.
We encourage those involved in illegal mining to register with the relevant authorities in order to regularize their operations. Meanwhile, police in Inyati have arrested 11 armed robbers who raided a lumber mine and assaulted their complainants before getting away with their valuables.
We received a report of armed robbery where it was alleged that a group of suspected illegal miners had raided a certain mine here in Inyat and robbed several items of grocery and including mining equipment. We swiftly reacted that very particular night and attended the scene. We gathered information that there is a certain house which was occupied by suspected and unknown people. We targeted that house and raided it. The complainant was with us, and when we entered the house, the complainant identified the property that had been stolen, including blankets and some shovels. We also conducted a search in the accused's house and located some items of criminal use that include machetes, knives, and screwdrivers.
Still in Inyati, police arrested two brothers, Kumbulani Mhlanga, age 37, and Melusi Mhlanga, age 20, for stock theft. The two went on a rampage stealing cattle at grazing areas before deboning the carcasses and selling the meat to surrounding mining compounds and business areas.
Sathola umbiko ukuthi kulabantu abathenga inyama ebantwini bona laba ngamasaka eyayimkhwapha behamba la eBulawayo. Abantu bona laba sahamba sabadinga sazi sabathola sabathatha sabuya la labo station sababuzisisa ukuthi inyama yena leyo ngabe beyithenge ngaphi babe sebesitshela abantu bangikhona ngamabizo ukuthi ngobani. Sesithola information yena leyi sabambana la lezakhamizi sababamba izibotshwa lezi sibahambisa ecourt basebephiwa iminyaka engu 110 umuntu oyedwa.
We now take a look at traffic issues where the Traffic Safety Council of Zimbabwe is on a drive to educate road users on road safety to reduce road carnage on the country's roads. Let's hear more from Mr. Tatenda Chinoda.
This location of the road has become a black spot. It has become a black spot because sauna zirikuitika every day. Very serious and fatal accidents are happening here. What exactly is here? This way into town from the last roundabout out of town pakwadzana up. Pane lane rino radakamira rino lane rotenedza mota to make a turn to the other side. This lane is not well communicated in terms of talking roads. So my driver anobva akavanga speed huku anopinda mulane irori haazvioni apinda mulane anosvika achinorovera paisland. So this is exactly what happens panapa. Driver ari kubva uko ane muhighway speed. Highway speed yanga travel nayo kuma 120, which is illegal for this part of the road. But anenge anakirwa kabva kunotoni Gweru Ulawayo Plumtree anopinda ona road yangofara all of a sudden unannounced anonga akarowa speed rake riyeria manje unannounced like that overall all of a sudden there is this traffic island. The driver loses control of the vehicle. It's the motor dzirikubva nokuku. He may disturb because when there is loss of control of the vehicle, the vehicle might spin onto the other side or off the road completely. This is what is causing kufa kwevanhu pano kukuvara pano patataura pano. But this can be assisted when local authorities really come through panoda signage, proper signage, danger warning for vehicles and for their drivers to know this is a high accident zone. So as part of our road traffic safety audits, tirikuenda pachinenge chichipisa pacho, tirikuenda where the accidents are happening. We call them road traffic crashes and be able to educate the nation of Zimbabwe. So if you are Ulawayo, if you are from Kuwadzana, if you are from Norton, you are heading towards town, Pacold Comfort flyover, please make sure you educate others. You may be driving correctly legally, but you will be disturbed by the driver who would have lost control. So both sides of traffic going into town, traffic going out of town, look out on this particular zone. But the best way also is to design the road infrastructure in such a way that it is talking to the driver about the danger that lies ahead.
Accidents ayanowanzoitika during the weekends. When we wake up on Monday, tinoona road kana tinoona wreckage yemota inenge yaita accident. Panogona kuita 3 accidents on a week. So there's something that needs to be done to make that island properly restructured.
This is a black spot. When the motor is a propeller shaft here. So good isusu we could have been at the greatest danger. Yeah, we got papa. So it emphasizes and highlights the need for action. Sure. We need action, and action as soon as yesterday, because we are losing lives here.
On that note, we take a short break. Join us in the third segment for more. To those who are just joining us, we are now in the third and final segment of Crime Watch. Police in Rusape have arrested Kudzanai Patorwa, aged 23, who specialized in theft of car batteries. The suspect was also linked to a case of unlawful entry into premises and theft. His arrest led to the recovery of stolen batteries and household goods.
5 cases were committed in the town areas of Silverbo, and 4 were committed in Mavazuva, Rusape, where the other 2 were committed in Castro and Vengere location, bringing the total number of cases to 11. In the majority of these cases, the accused employed a mode of operation where he would single out homes where cars are parked outside in enclosed spaces. He would then dislodge batteries from their metal cage or brake locks in cases where they are installed. Before making good his escape, the accused stole a total value of $45,775, of which $42,502 value of property was recovered. We are sounding a clarion call on members of the public, particularly property owners, in this case, to heavily invest in security by installing security facilities and systems at their premises. This includes security alarms, building or precast walls, or even carports, resources permitting. Removable carpets and accessories should be secured or packed away overnight.
Police are stepping up operations meant to bring to book criminals involved in robbery cases. To this end, several suspects have been arrested across the country. Let us hear more from Detective Inspector Portia Chino.
The Zimbabwe Republic Police has raised concern over the occurrence of robbery cases in and around the country. We have experienced a number of robbery cases where we are saying to members of the public, be aware of these criminals who are actually entering into residential properties. They are targeting people known to have or in possession of valuables such as cash, laptops, and expensive cell phones. So to this end, we are saying to members of the public, please do not keep large sums of money in your homes. And as well, do not disclose your transactions, your business transactions, to close associates or friends or even employees, because we have realized that these criminals are actually getting information from close associates or employees who are actually acting as informers to the criminals or are actually taking active participation in the commission of the robberies. To the criminals, we are warning you that as a therapy, we are not going to sit back and fold hands whilst you wreak havoc within our peace-loving communities. During the past week, we arrested 4 suspects in Vurwi. The suspects would break into the well-known gold dealers' houses and demand cash. In one of the cases, they broke into the complainant's house and demanded cash, and they were given about US $1,500, and they made off with the complainant's Toyota Grand Fare vehicle. They also went to the second victim's house where they also demanded cash again and were given US $2,100 and made off again with the complainant's motor vehicle. The motor vehicles would later be discovered dumped. The suspects were taken to court where they were remanded in custody. In Norton, we arrested one suspect for robbery. The suspect proceeded to the complainant's house, where upon arrival, he threatened to shoot them with a firearm and demanded cash. He was given US $700 and 2,000 rands, and he went away. Detectives from Norton made follow-ups and arrested the suspect. He has since appeared before the courts and was remanded in custody.
Before we come to the end of this week's episode, we would like to highlight some of the people who are on the police wanted list. Tendai Mashiri, age 28, whose last known address is house number 961, Bwanali Delport Road, Epworth, Harare, is wanted by Borodale Police for unlawful entry into premises and theft. Police in Bulawayo are looking for Defat Chaganda, age 24, whose last known address is number 910 Matendele Plumtree, for theft of gold and defeating course of justice. Nehanda Police in Midlands Province is looking for Ephraim Kutekwa, age 37, of house number 18 Mkoba Gweru, for domestic violence. Nyasha Mushasha, age 24, of Chekai Village, Chief Shumba Mashingo, is being sought by Muchakata Police in Mashingo for a case of theft. If you have any information that may lead to the location of any of these people, feel free to report to any nearest police station or contact us on any of the following details. Our National Complaints Desk number is 0242 703 631. Our website address is www.zrp.gov.zw. You can also email us on feedback@zrp.gov.zw. Our Twitter handle is @PoliceZimbabwe. You can also like our Facebook page, Zimbabwe Republic Police. You can watch any of our episodes on our YouTube channel, Zimbabwe Republic Police. We urge you to continue abiding by the COVID-19 precautionary measures through maintaining social distancing, repeated washing of hands with soap and running water, or alternatively making use of sanitizers. We also encourage people to travel only when it is necessary and to religiously wear masks when going out of our homes. That's all we had for you on this week's episode of Crime Watch. Until we meet again next week, pleasant viewing.